Last weekend we saw me epically fail at trying to predict the scores, and we also saw all the big teams get away with big decisions. So this weekend, what could happen? Who knows? These are my Premier League predictions for Matchday 10. There is no early kick-off this weekend, so we're going straight to the Amex where Brighton take on Wolves. Brighton, who beat Newcastle, will have more confidence, even though it is only Newcastle. And Wolves will want to respond after losing 2-0 to Watford and ending their unbeaten home run. For me, guys, I did predict Wolves to win last week and they lost. And every time I predict us to draw or lose, we seem to actually draw or win. So I'm going for a draw here. I do think Brighton are a tough team. So I'm going for a 1-1 draw. Bournemouth travelled to one of the most under pressure clubs at the moment in the Premier League, Fulham. Fulham lost 4-2 to Cardiff last week. That has to be a very terrible result for them, because if they won that match, it gives them a bit of breathing space. But instead, they lose to possibly the worst team in the Premier League that you'd expect. However, it turns out Fulham have probably now took that crown off them. This could be a very decent match indeed, but I'm going for a repeat of last week. I'm going Fulham 2, Bournemouth 4. We now go to Anfield, where Liverpool host a team that is managed by someone who, even when they get their first win of the season, will still find something to moan about. That's right, it's Cardiff City and Neil Warnock. Cardiff just beat Fulham 4-2, and even though he was right in saying that the Fulham dog probably should have been sent off in their last match, he still had to find something to moan about after a great performance from his team. Cardiff will have to take that into the game as well, and Liverpool, they were lucky to get a win against Huddersfield after the handball probably should have been a penalty, and Huddersfield plays some really good football as well. For me, guys, I do see this being a close one, but I see it being Liverpool 1, Cardiff City 0. Next up is two teams that really are struggling to get wins. Southampton host Newcastle. Newcastle probably couldn't buy wins if they even tried to. But Newcastle, their owner, wouldn't even try to buy wins because he's more bothered about Sports Direct. Yes, so that's why, guys, this is going to be a very tough game and important game at this stage of the season, because a win could really help these two teams. Pressure is growing on Rafa Benitez, but let's be honest, it's not exactly all his fault. But for me as well, guys, this game will finish a draw. It will be 1-1. Now, Watford really turned up last week against Wolves. They even brought their own referee, for instance. And Huddersfield played fantastic against Liverpool, but came away with nothing. For me now, though, guys, I'm going with what I said about Watford before. They're one of these teams where they show up or they don't, and they're inconsistent. And I'm going for Watford 0, Huddersfield 1 victory. And the last game on Saturday is Leicester City taking on West Ham at 5:30. Could be an interesting match indeed. Both of these teams want to push a little bit higher up the table and find that consistency, and both teams have a perfect chance of doing that. But for me, though, guys, I do think this will be an evenly matched contest with some good football played, and I do like watching Leicester and West Ham play. West Ham mainly because I like seeing a team spend about 80 million and end up in the relegation zone at the beginning of the season. It is quite funny. But seriously though, guys, I do think this will be a draw. I think it will be 2-2. And now for the remaining 4 games, 3 of them are on Super Sunday. And this Super Sunday we have Burnley taking on Chelsea first at 1:30. Burnley got absolutely smashed by Man City last week. However, a lot of fortunate events did go towards Man City, including 2 possible sending-offs and a bizarre second goal which should have been disallowed for many reasons. But hey, why should the referee go in favour of the big club? Never happens before. For me though, guys, I do think even if decisions go against Burnley this weekend, I do think Chelsea, with the way they've been, will comfortably win this. I'm going for Burnley 0, Chelsea 3. Also kicking off at 1:30 is Crystal Palace taking on Arsenal. Now, Arsenal have started to play some good football, but against Leicester, they got away with a handball before Leicester took the lead. Could it have changed anything? Maybe not, but at the end of the day, it's still a big decision, because Leicester could have gone 2-0 up, and that could have put a little bit more pressure on Arsenal and maybe changed the outcome. However, Arsenal won 10-0, fantastic team. Unai Emery has really changed things there, and they're pushing towards the top of the table as well. They're only a couple of points off first place. For me, I do only see one thing happening. Palace will get their first home goal of the season, but Arsenal will win 3-1. Next up is Manchester United, who take on Everton, who, let's be honest, Manchester United have been the biggest disappointment of the season so far. However, guys, Everton have not done too bad themselves. They are mid-table at the moment, and they did win last weekend as well after beating Palace 2-0 with 2 goals in 3 minutes. So that's not bad for them at all. I do see them giving Man United a tough fight here, but I see Man United, especially after the last 2 performances, second half at Newcastle and all of the Chelsea match, I do see Manchester United winning this game 2-1. Now to Monday night as Tottenham taking on Man City. 2 big clubs going head to head. Who are going to get the decisions in this match? Will it be Man City, where Kompany and Sané probably should be suspended after their 2 or 3-0 win over Burnley? No. Will it be Tottenham? Maybe because they're a big London club and we know sometimes they can get fighting. No. It could be interesting to see, and it'll be an interesting game of football as well. Man City's Pep Guardiola have always produced good football. Meanwhile, Tottenham, they've started to really start getting some victories under the belt now and starting to turn things around. I'm looking forward to this. I think it'll be a close game. I think it'll be entertaining. And I think it'll be Tottenham Hotspur 1, Manchester City 2. Anyway guys, that is it from me today. Those are my predictions for this week's Premier League games. First of all, if you liked the video, then hit the like button. If you're new, then hit the subscribe button. I know you want to, you know you want to. And if you're a Premier League fan, you'll definitely want to. And let me know in the comment section how you think your team will get on and what are your predictions for this week's Premier League games. And I'll speak to you guys later.